for you. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for you, boy. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. This one's for you. The boy Blue. 91982. Getting down here on motherfucking YouTube. At my fucking homie, he's crazy as can be. Crazy motherfucking juggalo for you to see. Go Blue, look at him dance. Crazy motherfucker getting drunk with ants and plants. Bring it round for the boy Blue. 91982. Add a motherfucker, subscribe to him too. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. The boy Blue. He's got that clown ass face, a wicked little laugh, crazy eyes up in this place. Bring it back, motherfucker, for all that fucking shit. Look at this wicked ass homie on this kid. Bring it back for the boy Blue. 91982. Let him come up to YOU. He's going crazy, motherfucker, up on this space. My space, the bitch, and you'll get him in your face. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. The boy Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Look at him on YouTube. Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Add the motherfucker Blue in this house. Look at crazy mouse. Bring it back for laughs. Everybody getting down with Blue. My homie True. Now get it back for the boy Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Get it down for boy Blue. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. A crazy motherfucker on YouTube. Blue. He's dancing all around the place, getting hella drunk, hella high up in your face. He's coming round, wicked clown, getting down, down and round. Indeed, Delaware, bring it down for your way. Crazy shirtless motherfucker, tattoo on his chest for his motherfucking daughter. Yo Blue, bring it Rosie in it too. Bring it for his daughters, yeah. Look at boy Blue. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Wicked clown, getting down, juggalo, getting round. Wicked clown, collecting all that juggalo crown. Yo Blue's getting down, ready for you motherfuckers. Juggalos online, bring it up for all you suckers. Bring it down for all the haters, hating on his shit. He says fuck the fuck off to your shit. Motherfucker, bring it down for this Norwegian clown. Singing this frown downtown for boy Blue. Go Blue, go Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Bring it down for the boy Blue. 91982. Blue, the boy Blue, the boy Blue, the boy Blue. 91982. The boy Blue, the boy Blue. 91982.
And I am a white piece of shit, and I do approve this message. Y'all stay safe. Have a good day. God bless.
What up, y'all?
Jared went to college enough. The episodes continue. No more series. Until the early morning of February 9th, 1990.
What up to the two people watching on the Almighty Dark Carnival?
Jared was up. His eyes wide open, but he was not awake. Jared ran more than a mile, barefoot on the icy pavement. Witnesses later reported that he sprinted with the urgency of a runner at the finish line. People who had these episodes continuously like Jared get stuck in this state.
What up, y'all?
Sleep. And they to perform complex behaviors, not awake, aware of what we're going on.
more responsible for what we're doing.
Somehow in his sleep, Jared had managed to exit his apartment, weave around parked cars, and turn corners as he ran. Then in mid-stride, back.
Many people diagnosed as HER2 negative may actually have HER2-low metastatic breast cancer. That's why I took a look deeper
Asked my doctor questions.
and wanted another look.
I feel in control now because I learned about it HER2.
It's for adults who have HR positive, HER2 low, or HR positive, HER2 ultra low breast cancer that cannot be removed metastatic, and who have received one or more hormone treatments for metastatic disease. Enhertu is a targeted therapy that specifically targets HER2 on cancer cells. Enhertu helps people live longer without their cancer growing or spreading compared to chemotherapy. Your doctor will do tests to ensure Enhertu is right for you. Enhertu can cause serious side effects, like lung problems that may lead to death, low white blood cell counts that are common and sometimes severe, and problems with your heart pumping blood. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening shortness of breath, trouble breathing, signs of infection, cough, fever, chills, feeling tired, swelling of ankles or legs, irregular heartbeat, sudden weight gain, dizziness, or loss of consciousness. Enhertu can harm your unborn baby. Talk to your doctor about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and effective birth control. Ask about other side effects. With Enhertu,
I'm holding on to all that is mundane.
magical mind. Sure, metastatic breast cancer will try to take it all, but not today. Ask your doctor if you have low levels of HER2, because Enhertu may be right for you.
Nah. You gotta be sure you follow me on Rumble. I need more followers on Rumble.
Jared Allgood died instantly. Initially, authorities speculated that he had committed suicide. Jared's mother didn't buy it. When Becky Allgood talked to her son's movie, he told her that Jared had been having a recurrent dream that involved a man from the nearby town of Berkeley.
Jared said, "It's like a crazy dream. I'm running a race with a man from Berkeley, only the man is in a car, and I'm on foot, running a race as hard as I can run."
Was Jared playing out his jumbled dream the night he died? Some might dismiss it as mere coincidence. Jared was killed. He raced down State Highway 30, the highway that leads to Berkeley. Becky Allgood became absolutely convinced that her son had not taken his own life. The experts agreed.
There was not one shred of evidence that he had depression or any other reason to commit suicide. There was no evidence of drugs or alcohol involved. There was absolutely no reason in the world for him to have been out there. And the whole circumstance was so inappropriate that the only reasonable explanations is that this was just another sleepwalking episode.
In the end, authorities bowed to the evidence. Jared had apparently been sound asleep from the moment he got out of bed, the moment he was killed on the highway. Jared Allgood became the first person in Iowa history whose death is ascribed to sleepwalking.
When I hear stories about Jared Allgood, I think that possibly could have been me, and that scares me to think that.
Like Jim, Heidi Ruiz is a dedicated athlete. Her sleepwalking began in 1991. She was attending college on a track and field scholarship and felt a crushing pressure to perform. Heidi's sleepwalking invariably seemed rooted in a nameless, faceless terror.
I wasn't running from a particular person or thing. I was just running because I felt like it was the end of the world. The scariest part was not knowing
what I was doing and the feeling that I had inside when I woke up out of the night terror. I can't even explain it. It was like a monster inside me trying to get out. I heard a blood curdling scream, and I screamed at it.
Heidi's mother witnessed two of the most violent episodes.
Sudden bang, two big hits where I could hear her coming through doors. I have to tell you, the force of her running through that hall, I'll never forget, because of the tear, a tear on her face was so incredible. And for a mom to not know what to do in order for her not to be able to hurt herself again was a real scary thing, real scary. I had the biggest episode was in my mom's house back in August of '95. Must have gotten out of bed and took one step and bolted straight into the wall.
The impact tore open Heidi's forehead. She gashed her wrist as she fell to the floor.
I decided I couldn't handle it anymore. I was terrified, and I said, I need to go seek help.
Heidi was tested at the world-renowned Stanford University Sleep Clinic in Northern California.
I had electrodes all over my head. I had a pulse on my finger. I mean, I was hooked up. I felt like I was from Mars. It was very, very uncomfortable, but it was an extensive test, and I had to see what was going on.
Process here in a moment or so.
We wanted to see if we might be able to catch a sleepwalking episode, but that can be rare because it might not occur every night. But secondly, we also wanted to rule out the possibility that it wasn't something else, such as seizure activity, a sleep-related breathing disorder, or even leg movements that were causing the person to awaken and triggering off an attack. In Heidi's case, we really didn't see any of those triggers.
While Dr. Kushida could find no physiological causes for Heidi's sleepwalking, he was able to pinpoint circumstances likely to kick off an episode.
There's a lot of different triggers. One of them is sleep deprivation. That's known to definitely increase the chance of sleepwalking if the person is sleep deprived. Secondly, stress can also increase the chance that the person might have sleepwalking.
Both Heidi Ruiz and Jared Oldman fit that pattern. Their sleepwalking fared up under heavy emotional pressure and lack of sleep. Heidi has now brought her sleepwalking under control, medication and careful stress management.
Unfortunately, a lot of sleep is still a mystery. A big mystery in terms of a lot of the causes of these sleep disorders, but something that we're all trying to really work hard on.
The phantasmagoric world of sleep and dream, once the domain of poets, become the target of mainstream research. But after decades of testing, scientists consider It is important to note that while researchers cannot fully explain sleepwalking, they are able to control it in most cases. If you or someone you know is suffering from a serious sleep disorder, it should not be ignored. Please consult a trained physician.
Yeah, everyone knows that you're going to die sometime in your life, but you expect to die on your own, not when you're 19 years old. I think if Christy would have died from sickness or in a car wreck, it would just be a lot easier to accept than the fact that she was actually moving, because it was just senseless and there was no reason for it.
Christy Martin, an honor roll student and former high school cheerleader, was gunned down 2 days before Christmas in 1995. That Friday evening, she and a friend named Wendy Wright double dated with 2 brothers, Joe and Sam Burrell. The four had known each other in high school. Christmas break from college was a perfect time to reconnect.
When winter season hits,
Emergency supports your immune system with so much more than vitamin C. Be ready to fight back with Emergency. And for advanced immune support, try Emergency Immune Plus to strengthen your immune system.
In a healthy gut garden, balance is key. Benefiber's plant-based prebiotic fiber gently nourishes the gut, working with your body to help you flourish. Growth feels good with Benefiber, and for 6 grams of fiber with triple energy support, try new Benefiber Super Greens.
A successful shindig doesn't happen by accident. Walmart Plus members get free delivery of more than just groceries, so I can order a Gouda. Who knew? Who knew? Whoa, that's your question. Wow, country calls.
Whoa, Walmart Plus lets you choose from 2 streaming services?
Choice is a good thing. Become a member who knows that with Walmart Plus. Just 15 miles, yet worlds distant from the restaurant, members of an East Houston street gang were cranking up their Friday night.
So, Holmes, something like that? Come on over here, man.
On the night of the homicide, Jose Luis Rios, his gang name is Flaco, and Jorge Mendez were out that night, riding around drinking, looking for some kind of problems to get into, looking to do something wild.
Oh, yeah.
I've dealt with Flaco before. He's told people in the past that it was the ultimate rush, the ultimate high to shoot somebody.
Across town, the two couples finished their meal. They headed to River Terrace Park, a popular hangout for generations. Christy's dad had gone there as a child.
When we were kids, we fished there, crabbed there, we picnicked there. You never had to worry about anybody bothering you for any reason. It was just a nice place to take your family. That might be why one of the reasons the kids went there, they felt safe there.
Yeah, I'm cold. What inside? Go inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to Christy and her friends, the park was no longer neutral territory. Flaco's gang liked to think it was theirs, and theirs alone.
You found embarrassing? No. Let's go check it out. You want to? Yeah. Hurry, it's we were just sitting there talking. When the truck drove up, I couldn't see it because my back was towards it.
Sal Barrera, who still lives in Houston, asked that we obscure his features for this interview.
I thought it was just somebody else going to park next to us, so they could, do whatever they wanted to do.
You probably need to go, okay? Can we go? Come on!
They took off. I just see Christy, on the floor. Just, laying there.
I just ran over there towards her and I was talking to her and yelling, please don't go, don't leave us.
Oh God. Christy! She's just there, breathing slowly and just staring at you. You knew she was already gonna die. She had the glare in her eye, like she was trying to look at you, but looking past you, you know.
Wendy Wright and the Barrera brothers escaped without serious injuries. However, Christy Martin had taken a direct hit from a semi-automatic assault rifle. She died at the scene.
When Christy didn't come home, my concern was maybe she had a car accident. I never dreamed in a million years it would be something such as a drive-by shooting because I guess I just assumed that only happened to other people, that it didn't happen to somebody that was a good person and that wasn't involved in gangs, anyway at all.
6 days after the shooting, Jose Rios alias Flaco was formally charged with killing Christy Martin. He and Jorge Mendez, who reportedly drove the getaway truck, had previous run-ins with the law. Mendez was also
All type of weapons and then they come back and just fire them at will at anybody they want.
Well, the type of gun that this man bought, I don't even call him a man, it's animal bought, is sold to kill people. Brag some of his gang members that he was going to kill somebody, but that he bought this gun to kill somebody. This so happened it was our daughter.
Flaco has now been linked to a second killing. In March of 1996, uncle Jorge Mendez was gunned down at an intersection.
The uncle had told Jorge, along with Flaco, that if they didn't turn themselves in, that he would call the police on them himself. And within 2 days of that reported meeting between them, he ends up being shot.
The information we'll pick up off the street is that Jose Luis Rios Flaco is also taking credit for that homicide.
While Flaco runs free, Brian and Judy Martin are already starting to dread the 1-year anniversary of their daughter's funeral, Christmas Eve.
Christmas will be really hard for now on. It just will never be the same. So it's really a sad time, and I know Christmas should be a happy time, but I can't imagine it being any sadder than Christmas Eve will be this year without Christy.
Losing your mother or a brother, I mean, that's rough. I've lost them both. My dad, both my parents have died. My brother has died. All I have left is my family, my immediate family. And when you lose a child, it takes a big hunk out of your heart.
Jose Luis Rios, also known as Flaco, is a lean 5'7", 130. He has numerous tattoos, 2 teardrops under his left eye, a knife sticking into a skull on his right forearm, and on his left middle finger, the outline of a cross. Next, a joyous family reunion gives rise to an intriguing unsolved mystery. Does this woman have an identical twin sister? Also an act of arson leaves 6 firefighters dead. 8 years later, the hunt for suspects comes to a close. You may recall these dramatic scenes from a previous broadcast. Firefighters in Kansas City, Missouri volunteered to help us recreate an unsolved crime that left 6 of their comrades dead. On November 29, 1988, pumpers 30 and 41 were called to a construction site where a trailer had been torched by arsonists. There were explosives at the scene, but a survey of the area suggested they had been secured in storage sheds, known as bunkers.
Just the fact that the bunker was there, in fact, there was 2 bunkers there. So that captain could believe that's where the explosives was from this trailer, was just the people doing normal construction. There were the tools and equipment, and therefore it was dangerous.
However, when the department supervisor arrived, he learned that there were in fact large quantities of explosives inside the trailer.
What up, whoever's watching on the Almighty Dark Carnival?
Sunrise confirmed what Kansas City had been dreading. 6 of their firefighters were dead.
I guess I feel like if I knew who did it, we'd know why they did it. And I don't think they were trying to kill 6 firemen, but somebody was trying to do something to somebody, and 6 men are gone.
The shocking crime triggered the biggest manhunt in the city's history. But after nearly 8 years, those responsible were still running free. Then Kansas City Fire pushed aside painful memories to help us get this story on the air. Healy Chase Smith has more.
Bob, the efforts of the Kansas City Fire Department paid off in a big way. More than 600 calls poured into our phone center and 2 hotlines set up by local authorities. The infusion of new leads led directly to the indictment of 5 suspects. When the long-awaited news was announced at a press conference last June, the excitement was tempered by lingering emotions.
Even though it's very difficult, many of us participated in that recreation of that event. It came at a time when many of our spirits were down, many people were out, and we needed that lift. We got a lift.
All 5 suspects are now facing a federal arson charge. George Frank Shepard, his brother Earl, their nephew Brian Shepard, Frank Shepard's girlfriend Darlene Edwards, and Richard W. Brown. Citing the pending trial, authorities declined to speculate on motive. If convicted, the suspects could spend the rest of their lives in prison.
The night is November 8th, 1996. Somewhere a young woman is likely celebrating her 33rd birthday. She has no idea that she has an entire pile of loving relatives eager to meet her. With your help, she may find out tonight. July 21st, 1995, Pasadena, California. It was a day of homecoming. The day Marjorie King and long lost granddaughter Lois Capozzo will never forget.
We all felt just a click the minute we met. It's hard to explain how total strangers who know nothing about each other can just click and bond in a matter of moments with one hug.
It was like an answer to a prayer that I had prayed for 32 years, knowing that she was out there.
We've been anxious as much, waiting.
32 years, Lois and Marjorie had waited to meet each other. But it was hardly the end of the search. In fact, it was just the beginning of a new quest, a quest neither had imagined possible. Lois Capozella was born in November of 1963, adopted almost immediately. Her birth father was Marjorie Kim's son, John, a policeman who died in 1979. Years before, when John was only 17, he learned that his high school sweetheart, Judy, was pregnant. The news threw both households into turmoil. By the time Lois was born, the families were barely on speaking terms. Marjorie had wanted to adopt the baby, but Judy's parents would not permit it. Judy's sister came by on the summer to give Marjorie word of the birth.
I just wanted to tell you that Judy gave birth today. Oh gosh, a boy or a girl? Twins, girls. Oh, wonderful. But one of them died.
Oh, poor Judy. What's she doing?
She's doing all right.
Oh, can I come see her?
No, I think that would be a good idea. Look,
I'll give her my best. But that's a comment.
It was not a fact. And that date always stuck in my mind over the years. Should be 2, should be 3, should be 4, should be 5, on through the years.
Those painful thoughts continued until the day of the reunion. The introductions were barely over when Marjorie and Lois realized that the past still held a perplexing mystery.
You should have come back.
What do you mean?
Honey, you should have come back.
I've never been to her house before, so to have someone tell me why didn't I come back, I was very confused, and I said, I don't understand what you're asking me. And she said, well, you've been here before.
Yes, you were, honey. About 15 years ago, huh, Derek?
Lois's cousin, Derek Stain, remembered vividly.
I was in front. I was riding my bike, and the car pulled up. Broke it.
hi. Can I help you? I'm looking for Judy Kim. Does she live here?
Well, this is the Kim residence, but I'm sorry, there's no Judy here.
There isn't?
No.
Well, do you know any Judy Kim?
I'm sorry. Is this somewhere I could help you?
No. No, it's okay. I'm sorry to bother you.
Who does that girl look so familiar? I know her from somewhere.
It was Derek who made the connection.
She sure looked like Uncle John.
And then it hit me. And to myself, I said, dear God, I let her leave. It was Johnny's daughter, and I let her leave.
She said she looked just like your father. She looked like you. I don't understand it. You haven't been here. Who was it?
But she died.
She didn't.
Oh, God, Lois.
Oh, God. It's like the little thing in your stomach just kind of clenches up, and you're just thinking, oh, my God. She didn't die. She's alive, and she's, walking around there somewhere searching, just as I did.
Your severe asthma said you can't. Tezspire says you can. Tezspire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over that treats your type of severe asthma. To help you prevent attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. Tezspire is not a rescue medication. Serious allergic reactions may occur. Get help for swelling of your face, mouth, tongue, trouble breathing.
rash or eye allergy can happen. Don't stop asthma treatments without talking to your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Avoid live vaccines. Sore throat, joint, back pain may occur. By helping control your asthma, Tespire lets you be you. Ask your asthma specialist for Tespire by name.
Adoption agencies often try to keep twins together. Lois and the Kings now suspect someone claimed that one twin died in order to make it easier to place the babies. Lois looked for a death certificate for her twin, but despite a thorough search, she found nothing.
I think the lack of any of that information proves to me that she is alive. And that girl who came in the door was my twin sister.
I'm looking for Judy Kim. Does she live here?
Well, this is the Kim Ritz.
Incredibly, when Lois contacted her birth mother's family, they told an almost identical story. The mysterious young girl had shown up at their home at around the same time.
Is there someone I could help you?
I am sure in my heart that the girl that came to my house 15, 16 years ago was my son John's daughter, the twin. I would love with all my heart to see her, to be able to see her, like God answered my prayers with love.
For Lois, finding her father's family has been a wonderfully rich and rewarding experience. An experience she hopes to soon share with her twin sister.
She has a family who loves her, who'd like to get to know her. We may have missed the first 30 years or so of our life, but we have many more to get to know each other. And I'd like to meet her and have a baby part of my life.
Lois's twin sister was born at St. Anne's Maternity Hospital in Los Angeles. The date on the birth certificate would be either November 8th or November 13th, 1963. Lois's twin would have been 16 or 17 when she visited the Kims in the late 70s. Today she is 33 years old and would no doubt look very much like Lois Capozzo. In the room, two brothers search for answers in the baffling disappearance of their mother. You're about to meet two young men, desperate quest to find out what happened to their mother. She disappeared more than 2 years ago. The police are convinced that she is dead, victim of foul play. And her sons are convinced that their stepfather is one person who may know what. August 5th, 1994. In the late afternoon, 19-year-old Nick Owsley arrived at his mother's house in Buxton, Maryland. They had planned to spend the evening together. The door was ajar. She was nowhere to be found.
Mom? Come on, you know?
Her car was gone, and a set of keys lay on the kitchen table. Nick waited until 2 a.m., then went home for the night.
When I woke up that morning, I was really concerned, called her house, and she didn't answer. And at that moment, I realized that something was really, really wrong. And I felt like at that point she was probably dead because it was so unlike her and so out of character. And basically, I haven't felt anything different since that moment.
We had a memorial service, but we never had a funeral. And that kills me. I could see out there from you. This woman is an amazing woman who's done much for so many people. And you can't give her that final tribute and do what's right.
Susan Harvey Harrison grew up in a wealthy, close-knit Massachusetts family. In 1967, she married one of her brother's roommates at Harvard. Their son, John and Nick, were born 5 years apart. But in 1984, Susan left her husband and became involved with a man named Jim Harrison. 4 years later, they were married. From the start, the relationship was reportedly marked by heavy drinking, frequent fights, and mutual abuse, problems which Jim Harrison attributes to Susan's alleged manic depression.
But Susan, when she was not manic depressive, was just a wonderful woman and a wonderful wife. And when the manic depressive aspect came on periodically, that was bad. She would start screaming and yelling, and she would start destroying things in or around the house. And she would run around the house and use bad language. It was really sad and really tough.
It's another excuse that he tries to use. Tries to take the blame from himself for what, even now, even still, even when she's not around, to say, okay, maybe it was my fault.
Well, I think the first time that I recognized that there was abuse in the relationship was when I actually saw abuse myself when I was about 12 years old.
Susan and her ex-husband shared custody of Nick and John. Although Nick claims he witnessed abuse, John was off visiting prospective colleges. Nick was staying with his mother and Jim Harrison.
Tell me what to do. This is my time. Or you don't bring anything.
I remember waking up around 2 in the morning, 1 or 2 in the morning, and hearing voices and some screaming.
Mom? What's going on up there?
And she said, Jim's been hurting me, he won't leave me alone.
What? Jim won't leave me alone. Are you okay?
And I said, well, I gotta get out of here. And so I called my brother's girlfriend at the time and talked with her. And she said, you should go out of there. I'll come pick you up, go outside, stay in the driveway, and then I'll come get you.
Nick says that while he waited, a battle moved outside.
Are you okay?
I see my mother as a victim of domestic violence and a victim of abuse. And I think that she was caught up in a vicious cycle that a lot of women who are in the same situations are caught up in. And that it's just very difficult for them to leave.
The only thing I've ever done is defended myself when she attacked me. And to some degree, that involved simply leaving the house for a day or so. And other times putting myself into the bedroom and closing the door. And just trying not to let her abuse me. I've never abused her, never.
Our uniformed police officers have been called to their home on a number of occasions for calls of domestic violence. And when they responded to the home, they found on occasion Susan had some injuries that were questionable. There had been some drinking on both parties. And it was usually a very confused situation for the officer to determine exactly what had happened.
It's it. This is where it begins. I remember that one. You brought everything you made. And Temple is where it comes to life. In classrooms, studios, and throughout the city, you'll be pushed and inspired by hands-on experiences that prepare you for what's next. Here, you'll discover what you're made for.
Real opportunity, real results, real success. That's what it means to be Temple made.
Finally, in January of 1994, Susan left Jim Harrison. She rented a house and washed her own dishes before Kenny left the lecture.
She felt very good about it. She called me a couple of times and said, you know, so this is what you've been talking about. And she just said what a wonderful feeling it was to know that she could go out there and do something on her own. She said at the end of the day, she felt so good having worked all day at this. And so there's a lot, we thought that she was finally getting herself together.
However, that wasn't the case. Susan was still seeing Jim Harrison on occasion. By all accounts, fighting continued unabated.
I found out that she'd seen him a couple of times. And obviously, when you're in sickness, all of a sudden I saw a sickly clip and I saw it gliding back into the audience with the argument. And I worried.
Rick Arthur Wallace himself. Rick said that in early August of 1994, he confronted his mother, Reverend Mother Lewis. Family members said that the next month, Susan decided to leave him for good. But just 3 days later, Susan Harrison disappeared. The police got to speak with Jim Harrison. He told them that Susan had visited him on 3 separate occasions the previous day.
The third time she got over to 7. She attacked him. Verbal. And very discouraging. And she asked for glasses of wine and gave her what she asked for. And she went to sleep and woke up and she entirely changed who she was delightful. Really, it was very loving and wonderful.
According to Jim Harrison, he and Susan drank wine and talked for about 3 hours. Around 9 p.m., Susan took another nap.
And when she woke up, it was gone bad again. I was just wondering if maybe it was a dream, if he had called to the bed and kept staying good.
Chip, what do you think?
When once we looked at our office, didn't change chaos to my house, I changed chaos to the family. Yes, it is. Just calm down.
Jim Harrison claimed that Susan's mood turned uglier by the minute.
Susan, just calm down. Susan, you're being bad again.
I left the family room, ran upstairs to my bedroom, and she followed me. Bottom of the step. And she stayed there and rolled down the step for a short period. And then left. Left the house and started her car and rode out. Police found no flaws in Jim Harrison's account. Then 3 weeks later, Susan's car, 1992 green Saab convertible, was discovered at National Airport in Washington, D.C., some 50 miles from Baltimore. Records show that the car entered the parking lot around 6 a.m. on August 6, 1994, the day Susan disappeared. He was wearing admission against her control, raising the possibility Susan had simply walked away from home.
Well, I think that's an personal investigation. We approached on several times. Could they be missing one or missing Lindsay Sound? Or is it fair to play? We haven't gathered any information that would lead credence to her trying to disappear in any fashion whatsoever.
In November of 1994, Jim Harrison agreed to take a polygraph. He has publicly admitted that he failed the test. He claims the test was not administered properly. Today, Jim Harrison maintains he had nothing to do with his wife's disappearance.
I love Sue. And I really keep saying it out. Keep it alive, and I pray to God that you will find it, and please do your best to find it.
There's no indication of what they consider a stranger type killer. So we feel that what happened to Susan is committed by someone that they were there had been some type of dispute and someone got control of some circumstances and exactly possible.
That means walking down the street with her or just running into her somewhere, and all this time she's been gone. Finally getting a chance to be with her again, and I know it's just a dream. I know that there's not a chance that she's ever going to come back, but I miss her so much, and I always get to see her in these dreams and she gets to be with her. But there's no doubt in my mind that she'll never going to be able to be with me again.
Our next unsolved, what happens when we go? For a man named Tom Storm, medical emergency took him to the brink of death. Personal journey of our very
Difficult torment, despair, that anything you could ever imagine and look for. There's a place where you want to send your worst enemy.
Join me again next month. Ronnie Solomon. Extra meetings are back. But just fried them with a single soup, sausage, egg, and cheese with gravy. Plus, hash browns and a coffee. The sausage, egg, and cheese with gravy.
The students, they are willing to change in their roles.
It's a combination of their passion, knowledge, and attitude. Participants building across the globe, across the districts.
I am constantly amazed at how the various people and the passions in the living groups have changed my mind.
So that you like it there. Okay.
You like enjoy the report. You'll see the Get fuel to somebody for 60 months. Plus fuel payments for 90 days on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Tonight, Unsolved Mysteries. A Florida woman meets a man of her dreams. Soon they chart a life together, sailing around the world. But suddenly she vanishes. Her boyfriend has had anything to do with her disappearance. The decaying marriage. The shocking case of arson. A wife is dead, and her husband is on the run. The California teenager's vacation at Carson City, Nevada, sparks a seemingly innocent sounding romance. Does that relationship lead to her unexplained death just days later? What happened to Natasha? A young woman working 2 jobs struggles to support her daughter. Then, when she ends a relationship with a possessive man, she ends up dead. Now police need your help to find her alleged killer, Michael Alfonso. Join me. Perhaps you hold the key. Perhaps you may be able to help solve the mystery. In April 1998, 51-year-old Colleen Wood moved from Dayton, Ohio to Boca Raton, Florida. Living in the Sunshine State is a combination of a lifelong dream. The charming former high school homecoming queen went to work at Lighthouse Point Marina as office manager. Then in December 2000, following a whirlwind romance with the former perfecting a race driver and Wall Street wizard named John Paul, Colleen suddenly vanished without a trace. For those who know, it was unimaginable she was not called for right. In the months following Colleen Wood's disappearance, a mystery only deepened. Police have found her body was suicide note and no evidence of foul play. In fact, legals was no charge and no suspect. But Colleen was listed as a missing person by court order. Family found spared away. The government wants to find that one person who might be able to shed some light on Colleen's fate. John Paul. But months after Colleen was on scene, he too was very disappeared. Sometime in the 2000s, Colleen Wood, the divorced mother of 2 grown kids, decided to give Cupid another chance.
Another John Paul through a personal conflict for CIA detective. And she was impressed with his credentials. He said he was he had an MBA from Harvard. And relationship with his protocols. And he was also hugely wealthy due to his success in the ownership of Lucia Company.
Within a few months of their first date, Colleen and John became inseparable. One evening, following a little bit, Colleen shared some of her hopes and dreams.
Here's the dream. What is it that you'd like to do to do the
I've always thought it'd be pretty fun to sail around.
Colleen was surprised and thrilled when John suggested they make the voyage together aboard a 55-foot schooner Island Bridge. It was a wild adventure formed in the pages of a steaming romance novel. Within a few weeks, Colleen was sold her condominium and entrusted John with investing the net proceeds, $43,000. A short time later, she moved in on board Island Bridge, then quit her job.
Takes a walk outside his house.
I was very, very shocked when Colleen told me that she was leaving. I personally was very concerned about her sending all of her aspects to get this trip.
I mean, from the car to talk everything. Seems like a risky for marriage and friendship. I don't know, but you know what? This is something I've always wanted to do. It's bigger, not getting me. Maybe they would take it.
On December 3rd, 2000, Colleen placed a call to her cell phone. The Queen of Morgan Day was sitting for in a few weeks, and she would be in touch soon. According to Maureen Kennedy, she spoke to Colleen about 10 days later, December 13th or 14th, invited her to the office Christmas party.
I called her cell phone number, and she happened to be in Key West at a bar with John Paul. She sounded fine. She sounded like she was having a good time. Tuesday, the party came and went, and she didn't show up. So I just assumed that something happened where there was possibly that series, and they couldn't make it back on the boat. She didn't go.
After being there, he would otherwise never do it. I kept calling at cell phone because he was public phone. Most of them usually contacted the police and jail, but there was no evidence of any crime. Days turned to weeks, then months. Still gave no sign of coming again. The second best part of January and February called was profile for SEC detected in some way identified and with both. Knocking on Colleen son succeeded in looks at them in a breath of cold under the ground hill. When he discovered, he was great concern. I want to talk to Arthur, the secretary had certified as civil. That he went to federal penitentiary for approximately 15 years, 7 calls for attempted murder. I'm still thinking they're on a boat, but I'm thinking she's on a boat with her, or possible her. It turned out Colleen's boyfriend was a mastermind behind a drug smuggling ring in the early 80s. The guy that killed his partner in crime for allegedly writing him up. John Paul was killed in 1999, and met Colleen less than a year later. His plan to sail around the world was a direct violation of his will. Family and friends were certain Colleen knew nothing about John Paul's past.
Yes.
However, his prison record wasn't the only thing that had some people troubled. John would later give 3 different accounts of his relationship with Colleen, which he says ended on the rocks.
Continue.
John allegedly told version 1 to his daughter. According to Michael, she said Colleen had become irate over an incident involving one of her father's old girlfriends and ended the relationship.
When I heard that she'd broken up in December, I was panicked, completely panicked.
Michael pleaded with John Paul's daughter to have her father call him. 3 days later, he did. And a second version of the story emerged.
He told me that they had an argument. He said he didn't remember what it was about. But after the argument, she left the boat. And then she came back with her football player boyfriend. She gathered all of her belongings and she left the boat. And he hasn't seen her since. I filed a missing persons report immediately with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department.
In April 2001, some 4 months after Colleen was last heard from, detectives Mark Shotwell and Al Stone were assigned to the case. Their investigation could be activity on Colleen's credit.
In a 2-month period, December to November, in excess of 80 transactions, cash advancements totaling over $40,000 had occurred on Colleen's account. We were able to come up with good, solid physical evidence that not only did Colleen Wood not make any of the transactions, they were not made with her consent.
If Colleen wasn't withdrawing cash from the ATMs, then who was? The police are still investigating and would only say it was a woman, perhaps more than one. Also raising suspicion were 2 ads that appeared in a local newspaper.
Both of these ads were placed in the name of Colleen Wood using her credit cards. Both of the ads were ordered by a man. The first ad that ran in early December was in the help wanted section looking for a first mate on the boat. The second ad that ran mid-December was in the romance male seeking female section.
Had the ads been placed by John Paul, detectives weren't sure. They did know the second ad began running on December 16, 2000. About the same time, Maureen Canada had spoken to Colleen by phone. According to Maureen, Colleen told her then that she was partying with John in Key West, and everything was fine. Detectives Shotwell and Stone were anxious to hear about the events in December 2000 from John Paul himself. They finally tracked him down in May 2001. It was then, according to detectives, that John offered his third version of the breakup with Colleen.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about Colleen Wood.
Sure, how can I help? Have you heard from her lately? No, I can't help you there. I haven't seen. John Paul said that in mid-December. He and Colleen had a large fight over money. That Colleen Wood owed him money and made no effort to repay it.
But the alleged inconsistent stories weren't all the detectives claimed had them troubled.
My partner and I both noticed that he was becoming increasingly more nervous. I found it unusual that he seemed to have so little concern over a woman that he lived with, that he loved. I haven't seen her since, It's a very unusual interview, very little compassion shown on his part.
Well, if you can think of anything else that may help us out, we'd appreciate it if you give us a call.
Despite the allegations of suspicious behavior and the inconsistent stories regarding John and his breakup with Colleen, there is no solid evidence to indicate he had anything to do with her disappearance. In fact, John Paul may have no knowledge whatsoever about the mystery surrounding Colleen Wood. He has not been named a suspect in the case.
We have no body, no physical evidence to show us what happened to Colleen, but I can tell you it's not good. I don't believe Colleen Wood is with us anymore.
I know she's gone. It's scary to know that something like this can happen to someone who's so close to you. You think it happens to everybody else, but you know what? I'm everybody else.
We need to find out what happened. We need to know if indeed he's responsible for the death of my mother. I really want to see justice served.
John Paul has apparently left town, violating the terms of his parole. Detectives would like to find him, to question him again about the disappearance of Colleen Wood.
The joy of whole room freshness. Glade plug-in scented oil fan.
All around you don't even know it.
It's the only freshener to use a continuous built-in fan.
It's just there in the air.
Unlike some fresheners that seem strong just around the outlet, the Glade fan continuously circulates fragrance throughout your whole room.
This shit'll blow your motherfucking mind. Magic everywhere in this bitch.
Plug-in scented oil fan from Glade. The
pure motherfucking magic
of fragrance.